What was the most difficult phase of the Grand Prix for you?
Stay awake. No. Well, if I wouldn't be like in a front drive myself or wouldn't have made it, I would probably support Fernando. Just I like his style, how he races.
Thank you. Lauren?
Hello, Max. P5 out there, and you were coming over the radio saying you were struggling somewhat with stability through snaps mid-corner. Did that improve throughout the hour of running?
Not really. I mean, we tried a few things compared to FP1, but also FP1 wasn't that great. So we're still looking around a bit what to do. Of course, it's a bit different here. We don't have a lot of data from here with these kind of cars, you know. So it seems like, yeah, we have a bit of an evening ahead to try and make it a bit better, because today wasn't the best of days.
Obviously, last year there was no grip. This year there seems to be grip. Did anything else surprise you about the track?
No, I mean, it's a super nice track, you know, now with normal conditions. So just looking forward to the weekend, you know, to drive here.
And based on today, I know it's been challenging. What do you think the optimum is tomorrow?
I don't know yet. I mean, hopefully, of course, it will improve. Otherwise, it's not looking too good. But yeah, we'll see what we can do overnight.
But Lewis has taken at least the internal combustion engine penalty. He is 10 grid spots back.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to focus on ourselves, and today wasn't that good, you know. So we'll work on that.
Well done, starting front row tomorrow. I know yesterday when we spoke there were some issues with stability, with the balance. Did that improve for you today? Is it a bit more like it out there?
Yeah, I think today was a little bit better, but we never really seemed to nail the balance all weekend. Just couldn't get it to work like we wanted to. Today was definitely a little bit better, but yeah, of course still behind Mercedes. It's not what we want, but we tried everything. So we just need to understand what we could have done better. But of course now we can't change the car anymore, and we'll see tomorrow what we can do. Of course, starting second is not great because on the inside there is a lot less grip than on the outside, so on the normal racing line. So it will be quite tricky, I think, at the start, and then we'll see what we can do in the race in terms of general pace compared to the cars around us.
You're starting behind one Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton, of course, starting P11. What are you expecting from him? And for you, how much of an opportunity is this in this incredibly close title fight?
I mean, they have a lot of pace already the whole weekend, so I definitely expect them to be behind me at some point.
In every race, like all the drivers, but you leading the championship, are you looking at that race by race, or you just now focus on Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been close the whole year, and I'm pretty sure again in Austin it will be a good battle with Mercedes. So we just have to keep on pushing, keep on trying to improve, and then we'll see where we end up at the end. But of course, I think so far this season has been really good.
Excellent, Max. Enjoy that, and then.
I mean, considering our whole weekend, you know, being a bit off pace compared to Mercedes, I think we had quite a decent race. I mean, in the beginning, I just tried to follow Valtteri, but of course we had to manage the tires, so I just dropped back a bit. And then at one point we started to pick up the pace a little bit, also because the track was drying a bit. But yeah, there was no point where I could attack Valtteri, and he was just managing his races, of course, also very well, and looking after his tires. And of course, also I had Charles quite close behind me the first stint. He had very good pace as well. And at one point I said, yeah, the tires are pretty gone. Like, they were completely worn to slicks. So it was very tricky out there, of course, when the track is like it was. So we decided to box. And then basically after the stop, it was like 20 laps to go, I think. So I just decided to bring it home. And I anyway didn't have the pace to fight Valtteri. So there was also no need to try and be within 2-3 tenths, you know, to try and just follow him. So just save the tires to the end, basically.
Max, what about the start? You were a bit nervous about being in P2 yesterday.
Yeah, I still think that the inside is not as grippy as the outside, but at least I didn't lose a position. So I think in a way it was better that it was a wet start than a dry start.
And we did hear a few issues being reported over the radio by you. I think we heard about a gear shift at one point and then an issue with the steering wheel, perhaps. Did any of that hold you back?
No, it was not the gear shift. It was there was a word next to the number of where I can see the gears, which was not disappearing. So I had to change one rotary, and it was fine. So it was not performance limited, and the steering wheel was a bit left and down, but also, of course, the tires are wearing, so you get a bit of an uneven platform. But I could feel this already from the start. But again, this is not performance limiting, but it's better to say it than say nothing.
Max, final one from me. It's a double podium for Red Bull in Honda's own livery. Just significant moment for them.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I think it's very, very nice, to be up here, the both of us, especially after a weekend where I think, we were struggling a bit for pace. So to still, let's say, maximize the outcome with two cars is, of course, a really good result for us.
Thank you.
Could have done a spin. It would have been a bit more interesting to the end.
Yeah, we could have done maybe last lap.
Yeah.
Like 360.
It's not difficult because you're just driving under the tire, right? So you have grip. You just decide not to use it. It was a nice feeling because if you compare it to the end of the first stint, you don't have the grip anymore and you are really hanging onto the tire because also the rear tires are gone. So the beginning was just all about the management, but the grip is there, so you actually have quite a nice balance. I mean, they were definitely quicker this weekend. We just didn't get it together, and also in the wet, they seem to have a bit of the edge as well. So we'll have to analyze, of course, why we weren't that competitive here, and I definitely do think they probably stepped it up a bit more. Even with the points lead, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I still, I think I even said it before we even started the weekend. So far, we have had a really good year, so it's not going to change the world for me if you finish first or second at the end of the day. But I'm always going to give my best, and we'll see again in Austin, how it's going to go. We won't give up. We'll always try to do the best we can, and hopefully, of course, in the end of the championship is going to be enough. But if it isn't, I mean, I'm not going to sleep less.
Max, knowing your car as you do you think you'll be competitive in COTA? How do you think it's going to go there?
A lot of flat-out sections as well. Tire wear is quite high as well. So there are a few things to look into. I think maybe some other tracks maybe we can be a bit better, but it's never going to be very easy. I mean, the whole year already, of course, has been quite close. Sometimes it looked like we were maybe a bit better, but then sometimes also they were quite quick. I just hope that from the remaining races, there are a few tracks, of course, more than half are better for us, but we'll find out.
Max, hello. P2 today. Well done. It feels as though you maximised the car. You did all you could today. Is that reflective of the performance out there for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had, in general, quite a decent race. I think we maximized the result. Valtteri was a little bit faster, but of course this whole weekend we were a bit behind in pace compared to Mercedes. And this race was all about just managing the tires to a certain lap. We then had to pit for another set and again bring that to the end. Which wasn't the most fun to drive because normally you want to push a little bit more, but yeah, as a team, to finish second and third here was a very good result.
Yeah, it's a brilliant day for Red Bull and a good day for yourself. You've retaken the lead in that title fight. I know you're not being drawn too much on Lewis Hamilton, but just a word on the fact that you're going into the last 6 races of the season with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, I wish I had a bit more pace in the car, so it would have been a bit easier, but we are in the fight and we keep fighting, and we'll see in the coming races how competitive we are going to be.
Is that the kind of thing you want to see from a teammate fighting against Lewis, obviously the guy you're battling with in the championship?
You owe me a couple of tequilas, man. Yeah. I'll give them to you in Mexico. Before the weekend or after? After.